I want to go for a moment to your book, A Willful Blindness, which I love the title, right? Because I think what you seem to have been talking about just now is willful blindness.
Absolutely. And as you raise my book, the top line thesis, which is essentially now confirmed in U.S. congressional hearings, that elite Chinese Communist Party members, very unfortunately, are involved in dark alliances with global Chinese triad actors, including in Mexico City, very strongly set up in Toronto, Markham, Ontario, Vancouver, Richmond, British Columbia. The CCP is involved in fentanyl trafficking. The US government now says this in 2024, 2025. My book was indicating it in 2021 because I had Canadian intelligence leaked documents from the past, and I had sources in Canada and the United States with that intelligence visibility. And what you raise when you talk about that dark alliance, it brings to mind that a figure that the great Australian researcher Alex Josky into United Front and Ministry of State Security Networks, in one of his reports on the 1,000 Talents, of a very elite actor in Markham, Ontario, who is being investigated for the Chinese police station activity. My information strongly indicates involved at the highest levels of trade and organized crime activity, with connectivity at the highest levels of the United Front, to the point where this individual can be shown shaking hands with Xi Jinping at one of these state level, presidential level, United Front Work Department meetings in Beijing. This is all on video. Here's the point. This individual is pictured at a 1,000 Talent station in Markham, Ontario, in Alex Josky's research. Standing beside him, Canada's former ambassador to China, John McCallum. So that just, I think in a nutshell, in a case study, that brings together the Winnipeg Lab story. I believe it should bring in the Michigan and Texas threat network story, at least in the big picture, that the 1,000 Talents and dual use is being used to run agents into North America, disguised as students or leveraged as students by United Front actors who I'm asserting with 100% confidence are also involved at elite levels of CCP police station and organized crime activity. So sometimes when I step back at my findings, I almost have to give my head a shake and go back to my sources, whether they be at senior levels in the State Department, DEA, RCMP, Canadian intelligence, and say, are all these connections right? And they say to a sentence and to a word, 100% what you're reporting, Sam, we know a lot of it's classified. That's why we can't always come out and say it. But I do believe in comments we've recently heard from Kash Patel on Fox News. I know you saw them. He said, look, Canada has a problem, especially in Vancouver, with the Chinese Communist Party interconnecting with Mexican cartels and Iranian threat actors. And so that's what I pointed to in willful blindness.